Tonight on Q2, anger and frustration through the tears.
It was completely preventable, and it's extremely infuriating.
Family and friends grieve the loss of an innocent motorcyclist as they seek justice and demand answers from the sheriff's office. Plus, remembering 9/11.
I think it's important to remember and serve our fallen heroes who have served our country.
23 years after the terror attack, Yellowstone County honors the lives lost. And candidates vying for America's top job take the stage.
It's going to split the nation. Even worse, no matter who wins, and I just hate to see that.
Harris and Trump battle it out in their first debate, but did it sway any voters? The MTN 10 o'clock news starts right now.
From Montana's news leader, this is the MTN 10 o'clock news.
Well, good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us on this Wednesday night. I'm Russ Riesinger. Tonight, friends and family grieve the loss of 28-year-old Julian Wolf, questioning whether his death was preventable. Wolf died Monday night after being struck by a truck that was fleeing from Yellowstone County Sheriff's deputies. As our Charlie Kleps reports, the tragic crash is leaving loved ones not only angry with the suspect, but also the Yellowstone County Sheriff's Office who initiated that pursuit.
Take a look at how far that intersection is away, probably 20 to 30 yards from where I'm standing. Well, on Monday night, that's where 28-year-old Julian Wolf was initially struck, before he ended up here. And on Wednesday, family and friends gathered to mourn his loss.
He was genuinely one of the best people that I have ever met.
He's a real good dude. I mean, great leader.
If you got to know him, you gravitated to him instantly.
The words are endless.
Trustworthy, loyal, independent.
Very charismatic, very loving, caring person.
All describing 28-year-old Julian Wolf, who was struck and killed Monday night by a man in a pickup truck fleeing Yellowstone County Sheriff's deputies. A small memorial has been formed at the crash site. For those that knew him, the pain has been unfathomable.
I feel empty. I feel lost. I'm sad. I'm angry.
Wolf was driving on 4th Avenue North when Jimmy Joe Flanagan ran a stop sign on North 20th Street while being chased by two deputies, identified Wednesday as Wesley Brutlog and Dylan Council. According to Sheriff Mike Linder, Flanagan collided with Wolf, throwing him from the bike. Wolf was pronounced dead on scene.
You know, when someone you love is just gone, that's not really something you could put into words, you know?
Linder said Wednesday those deputies were justified in their choice to pursue.
We're in law enforcement. It's our job to stop these people.
Linder said they leave the decision up to the deputies involved, who are supposed to weigh the importance of apprehending a suspect.
It's a judgment call. In this case, there was information that this person needed to be stopped, and that's why they continued with the pursuit.
That policy differs from the Billings police, who employ what they call restrictive pursuit, only chasing a suspect when certain high-value criteria are met.
More infuriated with what happened.
Wolf's friends and family disagree with the Sheriff's Department's actions Monday.
They should have realized that that was a danger to everybody on the road at that time.
They completely wronged my family, completely wronged the public, endangering them. It was a truck with a trailer, for Christ's sake.
There's not a good explanation to try to justify what happened to their loved one.
In Billings, Charlie Kleps, MTN News.
And Jimmy Joe Flanagan, the man who's accused of driving the truck that killed Wolf, spent the day in district court charged with 7 felony counts, including vehicular homicide while under the influence. Yellowstone County Judge Jessica Fear delivering a stern message while setting the bond at $1 million, double of what was requested. Fear saying, "This is the highest bond I've set, and you've earned it." Prosecutors say Flanagan, who has a lengthy criminal record, refused to stop for Yellowstone County deputies after stealing an excavator. Flanagan then led deputies on Interstate 90 through Lockwood into downtown Billings, even going the wrong way on a one-way street into oncoming traffic. Flanagan then is accused of running a stop sign at 4th Avenue North and North 20th Street, striking and killing Wolf on the scene. He pled not guilty to all those charges. 23 years ago today, September 11, 2001, 19 terrorists hijacked commercial airplanes, crashing into the World Trade Center and the Pentagon. 3,000 people died that day, the deadliest attack on American soil, leading the United States into its longest war. Events were held all over America today, including in Lower Manhattan, where bells tolled at the exact moment the first plane crashed. President Biden, Vice President Kamala Harris, former President Donald Trump, and his running mate J.D. Vance were all in attendance at that ceremony. Later in the day, the president and vice president visited the United Flight 93 Memorial in Shanksville, Pennsylvania, as did former President Trump. Meanwhile, at the Pentagon, an American flag was unfurled, and Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin took part in a wreath laying to honor the nearly 200 people killed there. Here in Yellowstone County, several events were held to remember those lives lost. Billings Mayor Bill Cole led the community in a remembrance ceremony at City College's 9/11 Memorial with the goal of inspiring future first responders and veterans. Adam Somers says it was the events of that day that called him to serve.
9/11 was actually the reason I joined the Army, and so it's actually a little bit sentimental to me for these days to come out here and work with great volunteers like this because of that.
Adam volunteered at the Carry the Load ceremony today at the Yellowstone National Cemetery in Laurel, spending the day cleaning veterans' tombstones. Millions watched Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump clash in a fiery 90-minute debate last night, possibly their only one. From the economy to the border and abortion, we're asking if each candidate's responses are enough to change votes. Our Haley Monaco caught up with voters in Billings to get their reaction.
The debate lasted nearly 2 hours and covered a wide variety of topics that elicited opinions from everyone. But we wanted to find out if it changed anything right here in the Magic City.
What's up, good debate?
Have fun.
Tuesday night's debate kicked off with a handshake and over 57 million Americans tuning in.
Conservative members of the United States.
I felt she baited Trump and that Trump fell for it.
There are moments of inspiration and definitely moments of feeling defeat and sadness for the situation in our culture right now.
Each individual state
We asked voters Wednesday their takeaways.
I grew up in Montana. I grew up in Great Falls in the 70s and 80s, and I think I was taught honesty, integrity, and social activism and justice, and I saw those in one candidate and not the other.
I'm not really in favor of either person. I don't think I like either as a person.
Vice President Harris and former President Trump touched on a wide variety of topics and had a series of intense exchanges.
She copied Biden's plan, and it's like 4 sentences.
But the voters MTN News spoke with held steady with their choice, saying the debate didn't change their opinion on much.
I will be voting for Republican just because my values more closely relate to that.
So I'll be voting for Kamala.
We're in agriculture, and so we're very conservative, and yeah, Trump just needs to tape his mouth shut, and I'm definitely not a big fan of hers.
No matter the way they will be voting come November, everyone shared similar thoughts on the candidates.
I just feel like the choice out there to me is the lesser of two evils, or two people I don't really care for.
I wished we had better choices. I'm just not happy with either choice.
But a decision the American people will have to make come Election Day. In Billings, Haley Monaco, MTN News.
Evacuations are in order as a new fire explodes in Campbell County, Wyoming, already crossing the border here into Montana. The Campbell County Fire Department says those flames from the short draw fire began this afternoon at 200 acres burned, but that's now up to more than 4,000 burned. That's according to DNRC. This is video from viewer Jessica Rumpf, who is in Powder River County. Residents of borderline estates in northern Campbell County have been advised to evacuate. Multiple resources from both Montana and Wyoming are fighting that fire from the ground and the air.
We had the wind and the lightning and some of the rain that pushed through the Billings area and the surrounding region. This is actually from my sister-in-law, who is up on the High Line US 2 in northeastern Montana around Wolf Point. This isn't sped up. This is the lightning strikes that she was seeing as we got into the later evening hours, and right behind that it turned into the rain that came down rather heavy. So we've seen pockets of rain like this across the state in areas of central and western Montana as well. Look at the radar here. It's showing 134 lightning strikes within a 15-minute period at times. It's that kind of weather we can expect heading into tomorrow as well. We'll break down all the forecast details for you in just a few minutes.
A Billings woman is asking for help after she says her vehicle was broken into and something irreplaceable was taken. Kelsey Mako says last Monday her mother's ashes were stolen out of her car near Washington Street and King Avenue. Mako says she keeps the ashes in a pendant on a necklace placed on the rearview mirror. She says the thief took the necklace, probably not even knowing what was inside. Mako's mother unexpectedly died 8 years ago from the flu and pneumonia.
It was really special to me, and it's the only thing I have left of her, so hopefully it shows up sometime.
Mako hopes to have the necklace returned to her, a special memory of the woman who meant so much to her. Well, still to come on the MTN 10 o'clock news here on Q2, a day of service.
It's just one more thing less that, we all have to focus on, so we're grateful.
First Interstate shuts down its branches as employees look to make a difference in the community. We'll show you. And later, a perfect Paris experience. We catch up with 5-time Olympic medalist Brady Ellison, now back in Billings after shooting his way to silver in last month's Olympics. We'll be right back.